Yeah, I broke a light bulb, but at least I didn't hurt myself, I guess. Hello everybody, welcome back to the channel. Today is yet another video that I'm re-recording, and as you can tell by the pillow, that means it's a Christravaganza video, which means that I've watched this movie twice. And I'm not that happy about it. It's like a mafia movie, which like, it's not my thing, you know? Like, I don't watch a lot of Scorsese movies for that reason. No two sources seem to be able to tell me exactly when the movie came out. Some say 2012, some say 2013. Nobody really seems to know what the truth is. Let's get into it. I watched The Iceman from God knows when, but somewhere between The Avengers and Snowpiercer. The true story of this movie is that Richard Kuklinski, who is the main character of the movie, ran a robbery ring in like New Jersey and New York and kind of got away with it for a long time. He had, you know, associates that eventually the FBI or the CIA or who knows, somebody was closing in on the robbery ring, and he was, you know, getting scared that his associates would rat him out and send him to prison. So like one by one, he just started killing them. So he went to prison and he died there. And that's basically the story of Richie Kuklinski.
Well, basically I think I tried it. I decided to talk to you would be so I could find out more about myself, since I don't know the answers, and you are a person who is highly qualified to give me answers, possibly, of what's going on. I figured this would be a good time to talk to somebody like you, or you know.
Well, why don't we turn the tables here and you interview me? I'll answer your questions.
Interesting. I can live with that.
The movie is much more about a mafia hitman who is a stone cold killer, but he's also like a soft-hearted family man. Like, he doesn't care about anybody else's lives except for his family. So he's a very good mafia hitman until he like screws up one of the hits. And the movie is like needlessly complicated, specifically in comparison to like what actually happened with this guy. This is the same man that claimed to have killed Jimmy Hoffa while Jimmy Hoffa was disappeared somewhere. There's no actual evidence to support that claim at all. None whatsoever. I haven't actually talked about like who's in this movie, and I should, because the first pro is actually Winona Ryder. Even though I think it should be Michael Shannon after watching the movie the second time. Michael Shannon plays Richie Kuklinski, and if you know Michael Shannon like as an actor, you know that like he embodies every character that he plays. He is so good and so intentional at what he does that even if the movie is not your thing or you just don't like it, you still like his performance. And that is true for The Iceman. My second pro is that Richie says that his favorite Disney movie is Cinderella while he's on a date with his future wife.
So what do you do for a living?
I dub cartoons for Disney.
No way. What's your favorite?
Cinderella.
What he was doing in the movie was actually like editing porn movies, editing and selling porn. The porn business is actually how he gets involved with the mafia in the movie. Ray Liotta plays like, I forgot what his name is in the movie, and this was a real man too, but he plays the leader of this mafia, and because he's Ray Liotta, you know. Ray Liotta's character basically tells Richie,
closing the porn lab. You could follow orders. You got everything to gain.
That's the plot that leads to Richie Kuklinski being a mafia hitman within the confines of the movie. I don't really have a ton of pros because I wasn't really interested in the movie. A lot of it was too dark, both in theme and color. A lot of it just did not appeal to me. So the hit that Richie Kuklinski kind of screws up in the movie is on a friend of Ray Liotta's character. This man is played by James Franco. He's like a photographer, right? And he's photographing and having sexual relations with a minor. She's 17. She says she's 17 anyway. Who knows what her real age is, or was, if she was real, which I very much doubt. But in the context of the movie, she's a minor, and she hides in the closet while Richie Kuklinski and this guy that I cannot remember his name, but he's played by James Franco, are having this conversation, and Richie does not recognize that there is a girl in the closet until after he has shot and killed James Franco's character. So the pro here is that James Franco's character dies. That was nice. The problem, which is not actually a con here, it's just what happens in the movie, is that he finds the girl in the closet, lets her go because he doesn't kill women or children, and then because there's a witness to the murder, he's on the outs with the mafia. And on the way out from the building after killing James Franco and letting the 17-year-old girl go, he runs into a man who is about to blow up the building.
Better hurry up.
I don't really remember why he has to blow up the building, but he does. And this man is the one that's played by Chris, but he doesn't show up for 40 minutes. 40 minutes? They say his name once, and the man that Chris plays,
Robert Prong,
actually was like a real person, and he was a real serial killer, but he wasn't a hitman for the mafia, at least as far as I could tell. In the movie, he's called Mr. Freezy, but in real life he was called Mr. Softy. I get the feeling that they couldn't get the license for Mr. Softy.
and Mr. Softy trying to shut me down.
Because that is a real thing. Mr. Freezy, in real life, would sell ice cream to children at parks, but he would use his ice cream truck as a place to find victims to kill. He just wanted to kill people. That was it. He and Richie Kuklinski might have worked together. They might not have. He might have taught Richie Kuklinski about cyanide and how you can use cyanide to kill people. He might not have. He does in the movie.
Coroners are lazier than cops. If it looks like a heart attack, it is.
Arsenic?
Pure cyanide.
We don't really know for sure like what their relationship was, other than Mr. Softy apparently asked Richie Kuklinski to help him poison an entire town to kill his family. And Richie Kuklinski, who in real life also had the moral standing to think I shouldn't kill children or innocent women, I guess, instead killed Mr. Softy. In the movie, he does teach Richie how to kill people with cyanide by like breathing cyanide into their face. And he also teaches Richie about chopping up dead bodies and storing them in freezers in order to throw coroners off as far as the time of death. This is not a movie I would have watched if it wasn't a Chris Evans movie. I don't want to give y'all whiplash or anything, but the next pro is that high-waisted pants just look good on Chris. I mean, high-waisted pants look good on pretty much everybody, but like, it's a good look. Truly it is. Other than the hair. Not sold on the long hair, but you know, sometimes you just have to put aside your feelings about a character to be like, yes, this actor looks good in this costume. And then you return to the world of the movie. Next is just that Chris got a haircut because I truly did not like the wig. The wig really wasn't like a bad wig or anything. It's just not a good look for Chris necessarily. But we only see him in the scene with the haircut once and then he's dead. And he wears a leather jacket. When I say that those are all of my pros, I'm not lying. I'll say that like technically the movie is fine as far as like the making of it, like the actual technical making of a film. It's fine. There's not much that is actually wrong with it or anything. The script really isn't that bad. The characters are all pretty fleshed out. You know who they are from start to finish, other than like maybe some of their names. For the life of me, I cannot remember Ray Liotta's character's name. David Schwimmer is also in this movie. The only reason I can remember his character's name is because his name is Josh Rosenthal, because he had to be the single most Jewish person in the movie. I think the director and the editor clearly had a vision and they went for it. It just isn't a vision that I'm interested in. So we're gonna go to cons. Something that is technically what I would say wrong is that the movie fades in from black, shows the character's face for about 15 seconds, and then back out to black. Basically, I just think we could have cut that first little clip. I don't think that we needed the flash forward and then flashing back for the rest of the movie. I think we could have just started in the 60s at the date with, I think her name is Debbie. David Schwimmer has a mustache.
You're really keeping that mustache, huh?
Why, you don't like it?
It just doesn't seem like it goes with your face.
And at one point he has a ponytail, and it's just such a bad look for David Schwimmer. I just like skipped over a couple by just condensing them. There's one scene that has this like weird pacing thing. The scene starts with Debbie and Richie having sex, and then they have to stop because their daughters come in because one of them can't fall asleep or whatever. And they turn the TV on and they're all talking, and it is like the middle of the night, but like within one scene, the girls come in, the TV's turned on, they're all talking, and by the end of the conversation, they're like,
There's nothing else on? They got school, Richie. They got school real early.
Mom's a boss.
Can I stay in here with you?
Not tonight.
but it's only like a 2-minute scene. So like, why did they bother letting the girls into the bedroom and turning the TV on if they were only gonna turn them away 2 minutes later? I put a con in here that says James Franco playing a sexual predator. It didn't age well, but he dies, so there's that. The first time I watched this, I wrote down almost halfway through, and I still don't know what the plot is, but the plot is just that Richie is a stone cold killer, but also has a heart of gold for his family. Like, that's it. And when you narrow it down like that, that is pretty much true for like real life. His family never knew that he was murdering these people. So when he went to prison, he tried to get his wife to come and visit him, and she never did. Richie loses his temper over his own mistake. He gets really angry at Debbie for no reason. I wrote chopping up humans. It's not really graphic as far as I can remember. It's not a super graphic or gory movie by any standard. It just like touches on some really tough topics. My last con is just that Chris dies. And it's really just because I don't like watching Chris die. It's not because of the character, because the character that he plays is an actual murderer as well. And he wanted to poison an entire town. Actually, in the movie, he just wants to poison his family, and he wants Richie's help killing his family. And Richie is like, you have a son and a wife. Absolutely not. How about I kill you instead? And that's what happens. He dies. And not long after that, Richie is taken to prison. That's kind of it. While this movie clearly like wasn't really a movie that I would seek out on my own, I mean, I watched it for free both times that I've watched it now. It is like a technically fine movie. It's dark, and it's literally about a serial killer. Do we consider him a serial killer? I mean, he was like in real life a serial killer, because he didn't really have like a rhyme or reason other than just covering his own tracks, essentially. Oh, I also forgot to say that the director is Ariel Vroman, who I've never heard of, and I don't really want to look him up to see what else he's done right now, especially because like this movie did not make me want to watch any of his other movies. My arbitrary rank is what I want an attractive person to see me in the movie's world. I'm trying to figure out if I wrote this down meaning an attractive person in the movie or just an attractive person. It's New Jersey and New York in the 60s, 70s, and 80s. I wouldn't want to be associated with literally any of the characters besides Debbie and her daughters, but that's it. If Debbie saw me, yeah, sure, but like anybody else, no thanks. I watched this one alone, so there's only one score that we need to worry about, other than the IMDb score, which is a 6.9. The Rotten Tomatoes is a 6.2. My score was a 3 because it just didn't do it for me. I would keep it at a 3. Like, it gets 3 points for being a technically fine or well-made movie, but like, I didn't like it. The total score for The Iceman is 16.1 out of a possible 40. Didn't even make the halfway mark. That's how little I think of this movie. We have finally made it to Snowpiercer. I have been waiting so long to rewatch Snowpiercer at this point because I already did watch it. Thank you for watching this video. If you liked it, please click the bell below so you don't miss any of our future videos. Also, give it a thumbs up for algorithm reasons, especially if you like my face. If you're not already subscribed to The Princess and the Scrivener, please do so down below as well, especially if you'd like to see more videos on Disney, intersectional feminism, pop culture critiques, Chris Stravaganza, and more. One of us will see you real soon.